Hi there, hope you're safe and are having a wonderful time. My name is Gaurav Gupta. I'm a best-selling author, an international motivational trainer, and a business coach. It's my personal mission to impact 100,000 people in 2021 through my work. And as a part of that mission, I've started a lot of new series. I'm sure you must have checked series like Jab We Met, Learning from the Masters, Morning Motivation, Positive Affirmations, and this one, my favorite, Ditch the Ordinary. This series, Ditch the Ordinary, is based on my best-selling book, Ditch the Ordinary, Create an Intense Extraordinary Life. In my book, I have captured the life stories and success principles used by some of the mavericks in transforming and transcending their lives from ordinary to extraordinary. In this series, I bring for you lessons from some of the mavericks, people who had the option of living an ordinary life, but they decided to transcend their lives to the extraordinary. Today, we'll be learning from one such master. His name is Milton, and his life is nothing but a fantastic story of how miracles can come to reality. That's why I'm calling this the chocolate fantasy. I'm sure you will enjoy this one. Here it is. Milton was born on a farm near Dauphin County, Pennsylvania, and was raised in the rural area. His life was a series of consistent failures. The first disadvantage he had was that he was not able to complete his formal education. He worked as an apprentice with a printer. However, the apprenticeship was cancelled because he accidentally dropped a hat into the printing machine. He then did a 4-year-long apprenticeship with a candy maker. Milton wanted to be successful in business, and after completing his apprenticeship, he established his first candy making business in Philadelphia. This venture was a total disaster. Milton still went on to try and establish 2 more companies, first at Chicago and later at New York. These ventures were equally unsuccessful, and he was at the verge of bankruptcy. Milton returned to Lancaster only to find out that all his relatives have given up on him. Nobody will help him, lend him money, or will let him join them. All these series of misfortunes and failures should have been enough evidence for Milton to stop wasting his life and time on trying to establish a business and rather find a job and settle down for something more realistic and practical. Milton, however, believed in the power of the postage stamp principle. The road to his dreams was tough, but he did not give up and once again took the risk and established the Lancaster Caramel Company. It was here that his years of perseverance and experience paid, and he was able to make his company a success. He used the caramel recipe that he had obtained during the previous travels and took his company to the top of the industry. Milton started exploring newer avenues to grow his business. And when you are committed, the universe also delivers to you new ways of advancing in your business, in your life. And that's what the universe did for Milton as well. In one of world's Columbian exposition, Milton discovered a machinery that could make German chocolate. He was quick to realize the potential of milk chocolate. Chocolate till then was a luxury product, and Milton wanted to bring it to the masses. He took a leap of faith and he purchased that machinery. It was a big step, and with history of 3 failures, anybody would have had second thoughts. But this extraordinary master did not let all those past failures stop him, and he went ahead and made that investment. Tapping into the power of the postage stamp principle, Milton set out to create a formula of a milk chocolate that could be sold to the masses. His vision was far bigger than his past failures, and his aspirations touched the sky. He was running a successful caramel company, but his dream was larger than his current reality. Keeping all his failures and fears behind him, Milton took the biggest risk of his life and he sold Lancaster Caramel Company. This was a big risk, but he did not wait. His vision of making milk chocolate available to masses required a different approach, and Milton had a clear plan. With the money he got from selling the Lancaster Caramel Company, he acquired 1,200 acres of farmland. This ensured adequate milk supply to produce chocolates. He then persisted through trial and error to create fine milk chocolate and produced chocolate bars and bite-sized chocolates. Milton was successful, but he did not stop there. He wanted to expand, and he began constructing a large chocolate manufacturing plant for mass production of chocolates. All this while, he kept improving the quality of his chocolates, and soon, his milk chocolates became a national hit. From a very humble beginning at the farm, with no formal education, series of failures, and being bankrupt at age 30, through the power of postage stamp principle, Milton, or Milton S. Hershey, became America's wealthiest individual. The company he established, the Hershey's Chocolate Company, or the Hershey's Company, is one of the most famous and largest chocolate manufacturers in the world that sells its products in over 60 countries, employs 15,000 plus employees, and had a revenue of USD 7.5 billion in 2017. This extraordinary master did not give up in the face of adversities, challenges, and difficulties, and rather persisted through all of them to create a legacy for himself. In 1909, he also founded the Milton Hershey School for Orphans. Milton Hershey not only reaped a fortune for himself, but he also created employment and better standards of living for thousands others. Milton Hershey's story reminds me of a beautiful quote by Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill said, "What we do not see, what most of us never suspect of existing, is the silent but irresistible power which comes to the rescue of those who fight on in the face of discouragement." Milton Hershey's story also reminds me of the anecdote of the stone cutter. The stone cutter takes his chisel and hammer and he keeps hammering on the stone 60 times, 80 times, 100 times, and nothing happens, not even a single crack. But on the 101st blows, you know what happens? The stone shatters. It doesn't crack, it just shatters. It breaks open completely. People tend to give up just when they need to make their efforts more vigorous and stronger. But have you ever wondered what makes you give up on things you value and you dream of? There are a variety of reasons and they vary from person to person. However, the answer could be found in something I call the tendency to stay clawed. Clawed is an acronym that stands for conditioning, looking at dreams with fear, asking the wrong questions, wrong approach, engaging in other people's negative opinions, and finally deciding it is impossible. Conditioning. Society at large has great tolerance to mediocrity. People enjoy comfort zones, and as a result, they do not demand too much from self and others around them. They keep cruising along the line of least turbulence, and they do not really want to rock the boat because it is always safe and cozy inside the comfort zone, doing the bare minimum. As a result, despite the initial enthusiasm, when things get tough, the easiest and the simplest option is to give up. Habits are difficult to break, and picking up new habits is challenging. Hence, the tendency to give up. Looking at dreams with fear. Any action that are based out of fear of the current situation rather than the hope for better, brighter future will tend to disempower you. Ordinary people base majority of their actions on fears and apprehensions, and as a result, it is easy to quit when it gets tough. People also tend to give up just because of a constant concern that keeps wandering in their mind. What if I fail? Or worse still, what if I succeed and how will I handle the success? We are all afraid of uncharted territories, and in the face of uncertainty, the easiest thing to do is to simply give up. Asking the wrong questions. Rather than using the 3 trump cards, people habitually ask a lot of disempowering questions to self and to others. And rather than searching for ways to do a thing, they keep wasting time on collecting more and more information by asking too many how questions. How is this possible? How can this be done? How much time would it take? How will I get the required support? How to accumulate the required resources? The problem with these questions is that the fundamental program running in the background is disbelief and distrust. Rather than believing you can achieve it, the voice inside your mind is feeding the belief that you cannot do it and you are not entitled to it, and thus rather than persevering, people simply quit. Wrong approach. I heard Jim Rohn say that everything you do is easy. It's easy to do a thing and it's easy not to do a thing. It's easy to follow a discipline. It's easy not to follow a discipline. Your success and whether you'll persevere or not will simply depend upon whether you find it easy to persevere or you find it easy to quit. Since daily disciplines and life-changing acts require consistent, massive action over a period of time, it is easy to mentally label them as tough or disinteresting, and hence the normal tendency would be to procrastinate. And with enough number of times of procrastination, the dream finally looks impossible or difficult to reach, and people tend to give up. Engaging in other people's negative opinions and expectations. Author and motivational trainer Zig Ziglar uses an acronym called SNOP. It stands for Susceptible to Negative Influences of Other People. Zig Ziglar says that we are all susceptible to negativity, especially from people around us. Somebody tells you you cannot do a particular thing or you cannot have a particular thing. You start believing in it, and that belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And as a result, you do not try or you quit too early. Extraordinary masters like Milton Hershey, they guard themselves from these tendencies with the help of things which bring more positivity to you. Things like books, motivational seminars, surrounding yourself with positive people, positive affirmations, motivational videos, and a lot of other positive things. And hence, they do not give up. And finally, deciding it is impossible. If your mind believes something is possible, it will force you to persist. However, if your mind is made up that this thing cannot be done, then you will not persist no matter how hard you try. If you strongly believe that a thing can be done and you are capable of doing it, you tend to hang in much longer. Your own belief in the ability to make it happen will make the difference between you giving up or sticking to it. So if you want to get unclawed, here are a few things that you can learn from Milton Hershey's life and his legacy in breaking that claw away. Number 1, keep your goals in sight always. Will Rogers says, the road to success is dotted with the most tempting parking places. The moment you take your eyes off your goals, you're attracted towards your comfort zone or other temptations which take you away from your goal. The best way to stay on course and to stay persistent is to keep your goals always in sight. Number 2, divide your goals into small chunks. The moment you have a larger than life goal, it looks impossible and your mind tends to give you excuses. But the moment you break it into chunks that can be easily accomplished, before you know, the entire goal will be accomplished very, very quickly. Number 3, remember, failure is a friend. There is great value in failing. So design an art of systematically failing, but fail forward, learn from your failures, see what did not work for you, create a mechanism to improve the next time, and keep on failing forward, and ultimately it will push you towards success. Number 4, the best way to keep failure at bay is to design a reward system. Celebrate small wins and also celebrate major failures. Things which made you learn something, celebrate those things and your brain will automatically push you to keep persisting. Number 5, and this one is my favorite, always use positive affirmations, hypnosis, visualization, and these techniques will help you condition your mind to keep on persisting. And lastly and most importantly, always keep your why in front of you. Why is it that you started that journey, or why is it that you started pursuing that dream? The moment you have a strong enough why in front of you, your mind will automatically push you in the direction of your dreams. And remember always, failure is failure only when you quit. If you do not quit, you cannot fail. Remember, in the confrontation between the stream and the rock, the stream always wins, not by strength, but through perseverance. So the biggest lesson that you can learn from Milton Hershey's life is, if you persevere, if you do not quit, you'll be a winner. I hope you enjoyed the second episode of Ditch the Ordinary and found real value in Milton Hershey's story. If you liked this video, do share it with your friends, family and networks. If you've not subscribed to my channel so far, do it now and don't forget to click the bell icon. I look forward to see you soon. You have a great rest of the day. Thank you.